It's been a whirlwind 2 days for the two captains here at Gleneagles as the celebrations for a year to go have very much got underway, and now perhaps time for some of the serious thinking to begin. The American captain Tom Watson's alongside me. Tom, is this when the planning really does start to begin, when you leave here and go back home?
Well, actually, it's already started for both teams. The points are already being accumulated for the teams, who's going to make the teams. If you look at the points the way they stand right now for the American team, it's essentially the same team that played at Medina. But actually, in fact, at the Fries.com event coming up in a couple of weeks, that's the first full tour event, that the non-major event, the players will be accumulating points for the Ryder Cup team. So after the 6 tournaments at the end of this year, and then they start next year, by the time the Masters comes around and of course the U.S. Open comes around, the team is going to be, it's going to start to gel and start to come together as far as who's going to be on the team and who's been playing well. That's what I'll be looking at. Right now, it's still too soon right now to be looking at who's going to make the team. Now, I have no control over that, but once the summer comes along, then you start really start talking to the people who are watching these players firsthand, their caddies, the other players, and saying, all right, who's got it, who's playing well, and that's the information that I'll basically rely upon to help me make my picks.
How much have you enjoyed this 2 days, seeing the course, seeing the people around the area, how much they've bought into this whole thing?
Well, I've most enjoyed the youngsters, the club golf youngsters that started here in the early 2000s to get kids involved with the game of golf, all 9-year-olds, and seeing the culmination of many of those kids yesterday when I played with them. And that's a wonderful program. We could use that in the States. And then to see the wonderful online program that has been instituted at the Octorado School here that creates opportunities for kids to go out in different areas of expertise, using the Ryder Cup as a format, and making teaching them principles of doing lots of different things in life, which are applicable to a lot of things outside the Ryder Cup.
Is it all becoming a bit more tangible, a bit more real when you go through an event like this? We've now got a year to go. Do you become that bit more determined after spending 2 days here to come here and win?
Well, the wonderful thing about it is the community here around Gleneagles, and how Scotland has embraced the Ryder Cup. The First Minister in particular has embraced it, and all of Scotland is behind making this the best Ryder Cup ever.
You've captained before, you've won before, you've been on teams playing. What does this Ryder Cup mean to you? What does it mean to you to come here and win this time?
Well, first of all, I'm honored and grateful for the PGA to have asked me again to be captain. Every time the Ryder Cup is played, I still get the same nervousness, the same stomach that I had before, just watching it. I don't have to compete in it, but just watching, I still get that that electricity, and it's who I am. I've lived the Ryder Cup. I've lived playing professional golf. The Ryder Cup has been a most important part of my career.
Ted Bishop told me that one of the reasons for choosing you as captain was the experience from '93, how you deflected a lot of things from the players, took a lot of the attention onto yourself to free them up, if you like, to go out and play. Do you see yourself in that kind of father figure role as captain for your team?
Well, there are situations that arise that you can help your players with, and it's just not a. And I've been here before, and some people say I'm too old. I don't know the players. I mean, that's not an issue with me. I know that the players will be on the team who qualify for the team or will be most worthy to play on the team, and there'll be the picks, and I'll use the best information possible to make the best picks. But the actual being here as a captain in the away game situation, that I've been here before. And I know that that the players will rely on me for certain things that maybe they're not familiar with, and that's where I can really help.
You'll get great support as well from Jack Nicklaus, won't you, to try and win on a course he designed?
That's right. I've already got inside information from Jack how to play the course. Don't tell anybody.
We saw at Celtic Manor there was a slight issue with the waterproofs for the American team after the names had been stitched in. Ian Woosnam told us when he was captain he tested the waterproofs in the shower himself. Any plans for kind of making sure those waterproofs are going to be ready here?
It's not the waterproofs, but it's everything. Actually, I'm going to Ralph Lauren Polo tomorrow. Have our first meeting with those wonderful people that I'm associated with, thankfully. And we'll be looking at the fabrics, the clothing, and most importantly how the players dress for cold weather. I dress differently for cold weather than the kids do.
So they're going Tom Watson style or modern style?
They're going to go their style. They're going to go whatever style they're comfortable with, and that's a learning experience for me. I see how they dress, but I don't know exactly what the type of fabrics they use, and Polo will certainly have a handle on that.
And just finally, are you going through the process now of trying to meet a number of potential players,
yes,
have conversations with them, kind of try and G them up for qualifying for your team?
Yes. Well, it's not trying to qualify, because everybody wants to qualify for the Ryder Cup team. Whoever plays on the American Tour, they want to be in the Ryder Cup team. But I'm there meeting some of the players that I haven't met before. And that process will continue and get more extensive as this full year progresses. And I'll be around them several times in the championships in which they're playing, and have probably at least a couple of private meetings with the team before we embark on their journey over here to try to win the cup back.
Okay, well, we wish you well with the meetings. We wish you well with the Ryder Cup here next year.
Thanks, James.
Tom Watson, the American captain, he comes here next September, a year on from now, trying to reclaim the Ryder Cup.